Basket Brains, Kirby here, aka Darkwing Disc, and I am bringing you the Tree Smack 5 today with Fairway Media and Christian Foster.
Hey y'all, how's it going? Huge shout out to our tournament directors, Chuck Mintz and Danielle Keen. Thank you to sponsors and volunteers, and a huge shout out to our sponsors and all of the players.
Yeah, today on lead card we have yourself, myself, Kenny Clark, and Phillip Raschokow. We had Phillip on round 1. You shot the hot round, coming in today with the lead at -7, Kenny Clark at -6, and Phillip and I at -5. So here we are, hole 1, 360 foot, par 3. Pretty much just a straight tunnel with a kind of a couple of tight little gaps at the end there.
Yeah, hole 1 in the long position. Trying to throw my Halo Wraith around this set of trees, and I end up just hitting it directly on, getting that lucky bounce through that clump of trees.
Kenny Clark looks like he's putting down a forehand roller, kind of getting caught up in right about the same tree that you are. So round 2, we're playing holes 1 through 15, and then we're going to finish with 23 through 27. So a little different layout than we had on round 1 there. Here I am, I'm throwing my Halo Destroyer. I'm kind of just trying to do the same line that you are, where I swing it over to the left side and let it play through. Got that a little too high, a little too inside, and kind of just fallen into the fairway there.
Yeah, and Kirby, you've played with Kenny before. Does he always throw that roller on hole 1 in the long position?
He throws it there. He throws the forehand roller pretty often. That's definitely a shot that he's really comfortable with. I think it's the shot he was most feeling that day, because he did that. I saw him doing that in practice, so I think it was just a, spur of the moment thing, feeling it.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'd never seen that shot before. Here's Phillip. Phillip with a huge back 10 of the first round to get himself onto lead card. First MPO tournament he's played, making his way around the amateur circuit, and was super excited to get onto lead card and just have the experience to play.
Yeah, what a great first MPO tournament to not only get on feature card, but then go ahead and make lead card round 2. And looks like he got the CTP here, setting up a pretty long putt. Big hit. Welcome to the Christian Foster Show. What's going on?
Yeah, that one felt good.
What are you putting with? Huh? What are you putting with? Warlock. Excellent. Yeah.
I was telling the guys in the card that before this, I think every single hole 1 on lead card I'd played, I'd bogeyed, and so it was nice to get to pick up a birdie.
About time you broke that trend, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of the more impressive shots of the day. Way to pick up the big birdie and gain another stroke on the field. Kenny with a solid putt. You can see how cold it is, and this is already like 1-2 in the afternoon, and it didn't warm up at all. You still see everybody's breath. Everybody's chilly.
Yeah, I think it actually got colder as the day went on, which was kind of an interesting dynamic. Usually it warms up, but I think I remember this round actually getting colder. Nice putt.
Barely kind of hung out on the right side, but in is in. And Phillip just kind of tapping for par. All right, hole 2, par 3, 244 feet. This hole averaged about a third of a stroke under par. It's another really nice, just like pure golf shot, just straight down the tunnel, and geez Louise, you can't really do it much better than that. What are you throwing there?
Yeah, that's my trusty Lucid Warden. I don't know. I don't think there's a better throwing putter out there, and that thing's just been super trustworthy over the last couple of years. Here's Kenny leaking a little bit off to the left. He's right in between those trees. We'll see what kind of putt he has for a second shot. What are you throwing here?
This is one of my beat up jawbreaker zones. Just a little flippy. Definitely likes to kind of like stand up at the end. And yeah, gave her a little too much juice.
You heard him right though, a flippy zone.
I got a couple of flippy zones in my bag that I like throwing. Once you beat them up enough and you hit enough of these trees out here at SeaTac, they do some weird things.
That's true. And Kirby, is this the start of your disc golf season, really? And what are you thinking for the season?
Yeah, it's pretty much going to be it's the start of my season. This was pretty early on in the year, and yeah, I'll be bagging those zones for pretty much all season. I think I really like them.
Kind of a staple, huh?
Yeah, Kenny Clark lining up a big putt, and you know that's tough. You got so much stuff in your way, and you know you're crouched under like that. Like really, all you can do is just kind of put it at the basket and you know give it a bid, hope it falls.
Phillip just a little bit low. Disc starts to roll away, but curls up nicely. Should be able to clean up.
I think I put myself about, maybe 25, 28 feet long of the basket. Barely kind of snuck it in on the left side, but as I said before, in is in.
Yeah, it's a great putt. Picking up that birdie, moving on to hole 3.
Yeah, I knew going into this that, Kenny Clark's kind of the man of this course, and you were shooting a hot round, and then he hit that big putt on 1. I knew if I wanted to do anything here, I really needed to make some moves and get some birdies early.
Yeah, it was fun. I've been playing SeaTac for the last 2.5 years, I think, and this was the first card I was able to play with Kenny, and it was fun to play with you. We played a couple rounds together, but this was a great card, pretty fun.
Wow.
Throwing a forehand on hole 3, skipping up, hitting the basket.
Yeah, that was absolutely amazing. I remember it was about this time Kenny Clark looked at me and goes, "Who the hell is this guy?"
And you were like, "I see him every single day."
Yeah, and I was just like, yeah, he's a nightmare. Get used to seeing him, man. Kenny taking a very similar line to what you took. Looking for that skip to kind of pop himself over. I like throwing the backhand here. Like I said before, I don't really have too much of a forehand. You can usually just kind of throw one just really straight, and I had the similar result to what Phillip did, where I kind of just hit that early tree there.
Yeah, that tree
trying to kind of get something to turn over.
That tree is just right in the sweet spot of where you want that backhand and the forehand really to start fading or start turning in the case of a backhand, and just poses such a threat because your kicks can go anywhere.
Oh yeah, but next time you go play SeaTac, go up and give that tree a little I'm sorry, because everybody has just beat the hell out of it over the last few years. That's
true. Your second shot, nice through those trees. That's a really challenging technical shot. What were you thinking there?
Getting a little desperate, to be honest. That was usually from where you are, you don't really have very many options, but I kind of saw the little opening, and I was lucky enough to hit it. And Kenny Clark with a great run from circle 2 for sure. And cleaning up your birdie, nice little turkey to start your round. Like I said before, this is the Kristen Foster Show. Welcome to it.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It feels nice to play a tournament at your home course that you kind of grew up in disc golf with. Moved out to Seattle 3.5 years ago now, and had just started playing right before then. And so came out here, got my butt kicked by by SeaTac, and kind of grew up on these 27 holes. So it feels good to be on lead card in a pro tournament on your home course.
Yeah, you can kind of see me kind of telling Kenny Clark behind you, yeah, like, get used to seeing this guy. You know, he's good and legit, and he'll be around. Hole 4, par 3, 288 feet. Pretty straight, low ceiling tunnel shot. You got that initial gap to hit, and that one right there is going to give a lot of people some problems. Once you get through that gap, you want to be kind of hyzering out and finishing left. For me to fall kind of back into the fairway in the center of the fairway there is pretty lucky. A lot of times you'll kind of see shots kind of kick off left and right.
Yeah, I love the look of hole 4. It's just so cool with that kind of straight tunnel. Really technical shot. Just a nice disc golf hole.
Yeah, this is kind of an angle that you don't see very often from this hole with the catch cam down there. So this is nice. This is a good little treat. And Phillip kind of having one of the common misses where even if you make it through that gap, you're usually going a little too straight and kind of tail off to the right side there. Can be a tricky approach.
So Kirby, you've played on a number of lead cards and are getting really competitive in disc golf. What are some of the ways that you kind of prepare for a second round like this, or knowing that you're going to be filmed and have a shot at winning the tournament? How are you preparing in that lunch break or that day before you get ready?
I mean, you know, same as what I'm sure you're doing. Is just trying to keep loose, trying to keep yourself in a good mood. You know, maybe grab some lunch, eat some light food, and go throw some shots. Big birdie putt from Kenny Clark. Awesome hit. But yeah, I mean, nothing really too crazy. I kind of just like to make sure that I'm relaxed and I'm in a good mood and my body's feeling good, ready to throw some frisbees in the woods. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. It's been awesome to watch. I think one of the first tournaments I played, you played with it. We were pretty competitive back and forth, and then from there you've just kind of surged and gone off. And super well-known name. I think you're working in disc golf at this point, or you spend a lot of time coaching and you're just around, and yeah, it's been awesome to watch.
Yeah, I mean, man, don't think I forgot that you beat me in that tournament. You know, don't think I forgot about that. Yeah, I've been watching you ever since. Don't doubt that. You know, I got my eye on you.
That's true. Still have ultimate frisbee though, so don't worry, you won't see me too much.
That's right. I only got to see you in the wintertime, right?
Exactly.
All right, Kenny Clark lining up his shot on hole 5. Nice forehand, swinging a little too far. What are you throwing here for this forehand shot?
Yeah, this is a Star Firebird. I like to put it out a little bit more left, have it fade onto that island, and then this one I just sawed off a bit, shot off over to the right, but still Kenny and I are still giving ourselves putts. And you're throwing a forehand here.
I know, and you can see how well that turned out. Yeah, I've been throwing the forehand here for the last week before this tournament, and I knew that it was working for me. Just that one kind of slipped out just a little late.
Yeah, are you throwing something pretty stable on that?
Yeah, I'm throwing a Halo Destroyer, just kind of putting out a little hyzer, hoping it would just kind of hook at it. I mean, luckily this hole's pretty wide open, so, you know, anywhere you really land, you know, especially hitting that tree, you should be okay. Had a wide open shot for the approach. It was all right.
Yeah, SeaTac's a really interesting course because with the first 5, there are 1 or 2 that you should get, but you can always kind of get lucky and get a couple of them, or get unlucky and not get any of them, and it really starts the momentum of your round. And Kenny now feeling it from outside the circle. 2 putts in a row, putting him home.
Big time. Yeah, his putter's getting hot, and, you know, when that happens, he's dangerous, that's for sure. Here you are trying to keep pace with him. Just a bit short.
Denied.
Still got a few strokes to play with nonetheless, but you know, out at SeaTac, especially once you get towards the later holes, you know, 23, 24, a lot of interesting things can happen. You definitely want to have as many strokes as you can, you know, going into those.
Phillip, a nice putt to clean up par. And you had a great upshot from your first shot. Cleaning up.
Yeah, I'm throwing a berg for some of those approach shots. One of my buddies died one for me, so definitely appreciate it. It's fun to have in the bag.
What kind of dye did he put on it?
He dyed it completely black with it was a green berg that he dyed completely black with a green hornet on top. It's pretty sweet looking.
Oh, that's sick.
Kenny Clark lining up his shot for hole 6 here. One of the simpler, easier holes on the course. Pretty much just straight with a little left finish, and looks like Kenny absolutely parked it. Looks like he might have just put that a little too straight. What'd you throw there?
That's a Rock X3. And yeah, the last couple times I've thrown it, I've been surprised at how straight it's going, because I throw it so that it has that nice fade. But yeah, you're right. Out a little bit straight, but still setting up for a putt. You looked like you leaked a little bit left on that one, but it's still rolling.
Yeah, she had some wheels on her. Yeah, I got that a little higher than I meant to. I really want to kind of keep that zone low and let it kind of like ride straight for a while and just fall back to the basket. But when it tails out high like that, you know, a lot of things can go wrong. Looks like Phil kind of followed the same thing that I did there, just kind of getting the drive a little high, letting it kind of fall just short.
Nice confident putt. That's a great one to get.
Yeah, this hole 6 definitely feels like one when you miss it, you feel like you missed a good opportunity, you know, to pick one up. It's hard to say that it's a must get, but it's as close to a must get as SeaTac's going to give you. Hole 6 actually averaged 2.15 and came in as the second easiest hole on the course, which is pretty interesting as you follow it with the second hardest hole in the course going into hole 7.
Here we are, hole 7, 356 feet, a difficult shot over this big bush. Kenny's going to show us throwing a forehand. He gets caught up in that far tree on the other side of the bush, but you're trying to get to the right side of that tree, hit the ground, go up to the basket. I'm throwing a comet here, trying to get that turn. Doesn't really turn, goes dead straight. Still an okay shot. Should be an easy upshot from here. Kirby, what are you throwing?
I'm throwing a Leopard 3, Star Leopard 3, just trying to get it to bend over the bush, and looking at the spotter saying, hey, did I make it in? Did I not make it in? You know, what's going on up there, man? Give me a little something.
Yeah, and word on the street is the previous round you had absolutely parked that basket, and the spotter, gave you a single thumb up?
Yeah, he put his thumb out to the side as like a, you know, okay, kid,
yeah, pretty good,
not bad,
yeah,
kind of thing. Yeah, I was like, all right. I mean, it pinned it, but all right, thank you. Pretty good looking approach shot from Phillip. Really, once you can make it past that bend, if you can have that little hyzer to it, usually it opens itself up pretty wide. If you kind of get stuck behind it like Kenny is, you tend to have to like flex something, kind of get something to work through a little bit, and he just gets kind of caught up in the last tree.
Yeah, that last.
So here you are. You have this little straight shot and just kind of putting it under the pin there for par.
Yeah, not really an option to run the putt from there. That between that tree and the bush is a pretty narrow gap, and I don't want to hit that tree and have it drop and leave myself a difficult putt. So I'm hedging my bets and trying to walk away with par. You, from 60, trying to throw up a nice looking putt there, hitting right off the top of the basket.
Yeah, I definitely thought it would have been cool to have birdied this hole both rounds, but I'll take one birdie and a par and walk away happy camper, that's for sure.
And Kirby, you said this was one of the tougher holes in the second round. What was it playing at?
This hole played at 3.42 for the round, so almost a half stroke over par.
Really challenging,
so, yeah, just getting par is already, pretty great. Nice strong comeback from Phillip, taking his bogey, just gonna walk away.
And we saw Phillip in his first round end his round with 5 birdies in a row. So you know that he's always a threat.
Yeah, even in his first MPO tournament, you can just kind of see him turn it on like that, and he makes lead card and all that, so he's legit. So it's great having him there, great having him play with us. Here we are, hole 8, 384 feet, par 3. It's pretty much your standard straight to hyzer finish. Looks like you made that tunnel really well. What are you throwing here?
This hole for me, I go between a T-Bird 3 and a Halo Wraith, and so there I'm throwing the Halo Wraith. You'll see it hit the ground kind of right next to the basket and then shoots off to the left, and that's why I kind of go back and forth, either arm up, throw a T-Bird 3, or arm down and throw a Halo Wraith. But I went with the Halo Wraith this time, just trying to hit that gap. Here's Kenny.
Yeah, hitting that left side. Pretty fortunate fall back into the middle of the fairway. Should have a pretty no problem approach shot from there. Really just making it through that field goal right in front of you is the most challenging part of this hole. And Phillip looked like he's kind of following the same line Kenny did there.
But recovering nicely.
Good looking.
Yeah. Through this little tunnel.
Lots of skips.
Skipping right up to the basket, leaving himself a par look. Here's Kenny throwing the hyzer look. He's going to try to skip up next to the basket. Skips a little bit long, but should have a nice look. And this is what I'm talking about. Wraith hits right next to the basket, scoots up around this tree, right outside the circle. Straddle putt.
Yeah, if you go any further than that, you're scaring the guys over on hole 9.
Way too high.
Just kind of tickling the chains a little bit. I thought it was going to be okay.
And you had a really nice first shot. What were you throwing on that first shot?
That's a Halo Destroyer. I like to throw it with just like a touch of anhyzer and kind of just get it to just fall right at the pin. I also worry about skipping way past it, much like you did there, so I try to kind of play a little more to the right side.
Yeah, it's
Kenny making the putt, but not exactly happy with himself.
hitting left side of those chains, and fortunate enough that the chains gobbled up the putt.
Yeah, Kenny's such a consistent player, and he's such a good putter that he knows if he's not hitting his spot on the basket, he's not going to be happy with himself. A little tap in par for you. Move on to the next one. Hole 9 played as the hardest hole here on the course at 3.6. You know, over half a stroke over par. Really, really difficult. And my drive just kind of hit early left, yeah.
And you and I are about to show why this is playing over. I'm lining up a champion destroyer here, trying to flex just a tiny bit, get it to ride up, turn a little bit, and I just barely hit that tree, and it kicks me into a horrible spot.
Yeah, that is 1 and 2 on the list of like worst case scenarios that you can have on this hole. Kenny having a pretty good drive there. I mean, he's making it through the gap. Tailing over to the right side definitely gives you more options to get up to the basket than falling out to the left side does. But you know, the basket is, you know, when you're standing on the tee pad, the basket is almost straight ahead of you. There's just so much stuff in the way, so many vertical obstacles. It's a really good golf hole. It's just so challenging.
It is. Phillip with a little bit of an early release, hitting one of those first trees. Really challenging from there because you got to fight through these trees. Standstill shot. Now coming up on his third shot here. He's trying to get through this gap and executes just a great shot with a great skip. Nice ground play.
Yeah, I think a really good drive if you're playing for par is to get just to where that rock is right there in the middle of the fairway. Here you are kind of just pitching up to that rock to give yourself that easy, at this point, bogey because you're off the fairway.
Exactly. I was looking for a potential shot, and SeaTac, you get tempted to take some of those crazier shots, and the smart play, shoot up into the fairway, take your bogey, try to find a birdie somewhere else.
Yeah, and you play this extremely smart.
And you're behind this
Here I am kind of
line of bushes. What are you thinking here?
thinking I really shouldn't have thrown the shot I threw beforehand. But yeah, just trying to get through that gap. I could have gotten my berg to kind of like flex through there a little bit and maybe hyzer back to the basket, but yeah, from that position there really wasn't much. You'll see people sometimes do the little forehand roller through the bushes, but that didn't really seem like a great option for me.
Yeah, that line of bushes is like just an added impenetrable obstacle that your discs get caught up in, and it's really hard to like reach around trying to get a forehand or a backhand around that thing. And like you said, some people try to throw little scoop shots through or forehand rollers, and just another kind of unique element that adds to the difficulty of this hole.
Strong putt from Phillip, even if it is from double bogey. This is definitely the hole that's going to beat you up if there is going to be one.
There you are, picking up your double bogey, cleaning up onto the next hole.
Yeah, we really showed this hole what's up. +6 for the card, you know. This is your MPO lead card, everyone. Welcome.
Yep, but SeaTac, it's always on to the next one. Hole 10. Pretty straightforward shot. You have this clump of trees in the middle that you're either trying to go to the right of and fade back to the left, or on a forehand line or a flexy backhand line, go to the left and go straight up to the basket. But your real obstacle is getting around this chunk of trees in the middle. I think Kenny going with the forehand, a little bit of an early fade out, hits that set of trees. He might have gotten around it. And is that another zone you're throwing there?
Yep. Just kind of tailed it off a little too much to the right. But, yeah, I like to try to flex it, like you said, you know, straight through, try to beat that tree in the middle. I like to try to keep it on the right side and have it fall back to it. But, you know, it's a little more challenging. I think the forehand line plays here a little better. I think it's just a straight forehand, but it's very intimidating to throw that shot.
Kenny looking like he's going to make an attempt at this.
Yeah, long circle 2, trying to hit that gap to get through it as well. You know, this is one of those holes where you look at it and you say 282 feet, you know. As an MPO player, you got to tell yourself, like, I can get this and I should get this, but it's not always that easy. or you're Phillip and you make it look that easy.
Certainly not. That's 2 rounds in a row. Phillip with the exact same shot, setting himself up perfectly for birdie. Nice shot. And you have that unique disc spin. How did that come about?
Well, we played ultimate frisbee in college, just kind of a lot of pickup. So when I was, started playing disc golf, it was just just a habit of just messing around with frisbees and what having little ticks and just kind of playing with them. We were just frisbee players to start.
Love it.
All right, and that is the front half. Thank you again to our sponsors. Thank you to Fairway Media, Justin Banks, and thank you, Christian, for joining me today.
Appreciate it. Thanks, y'all.
See you later. Sounds good.